Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to break down the incredible history behind a huge decision made in colonial India, one that would completely reshape education for generations to come.
I mean, just think about that for a second. That was the exact high-stakes question the British were facing in India. And it kicked off a massive debate with consequences that, believe it or not, we can still feel today. It was like a clash of civilizations, all played out inside the classroom.
So, let's dive right in. We'll start with how the British first approached education in India. And honestly, it's probably not what you're thinking. At first, you had this group of British officials who were called Orientalists. And their whole idea was actually to respect and promote traditional Indian learning. They figured, hey, if we're going to govern here, we need to win the hearts of the people. And that meant valuing their culture and teaching the subjects they already knew and cared about.
But that vision of respect, well, it didn't last long. It was about to face a powerful, aggressive challenge from a whole new group of thinkers who had a radically different idea.
Yeah, leading the charge were two guys in particular, James Mill and Thomas Babington Macaulay. And these men, they had absolutely zero interest in preserving Indian culture. They were arguing for a complete, top-to-bottom revolution in education policy.
Macaulay especially did not mince words. His argument was incredibly blunt and powerful. He basically told the British government to, and I'm quoting here, stop wasting public money and promoting Oriental learning, for it was of no practical use. He saw it as a complete waste of time.
And this really shows you just how dismissive the Anglicists were. They didn't see Eastern learning as something valuable to be preserved. They saw it as flawed, unscientific, and basically decaying. I mean, they called established places of learning temples of darkness that were just falling apart on their own.
So you can see, right? This wasn't just some small disagreement over the curriculum. This was a fundamental clash of worldviews. It was all about culture, knowledge, and of course, power. On one side, you had this call to respect and preserve. And on the other, a demand to impose and, in their minds, correct.
Well, in the end, guess who won? The Anglicists. Their aggressive, super confident arguments carried the day. And that victory? It triggered a massive overhaul of the entire education system across British India.
But to really get how huge these changes were, you have to understand what the system was like before the British came in and changed everything. We're talking about the traditional local schools known as the Pathshala.
Okay, so picture this. There are no school buildings. Classes might be happening under a giant banyan tree, in the back of a shop, or even right in the guru's home. Everything was taught orally, passed down from teacher to student. And, this is crucial, the schedule was totally flexible. It worked around the community's life, even pausing for harvest time so kids could help out in the fields.
Then the British introduced their new rigid structure, and bam, everything changes. All of a sudden, you've got regular fees, fixed timetables, and annual exams. That oral tradition? Gone. Replaced by a curriculum based on textbooks. The real goal was to create a new class of Indians who would be, as they put it, English in taste, in opinions, in morals, and in intellect. Basically, people to serve as clerks and help run the colonial machine.
Now, you might be thinking, did everyone in India just accept this? No way. This imposition of a foreign, Western education model sparked a powerful and creative reaction from some of India's leading thinkers.
Yeah, you had absolute giants like Mahatma Gandhi and the incredible poet and philosopher Rabindranath Tagore. They looked at this new system and started pushing back, creating their own powerful visions for what a truly authentic Indian education should look like.
And Tagore's vision, wow, it was something else. It was so poetic and profound. He wanted to build a school that was the complete opposite of the rigid, mechanical British model. He called it an abode of peace. And he actually did it. He created his school, Shanti Niketan, far away from the city. It was designed to be this peaceful place where the top priorities were living in harmony with nature and, most importantly, letting children cultivate their own natural creativity, totally free from the constraints of the colonial system.
So this whole colonial-era conflict, it wasn't just some historical footnote. It left a profound, long-lasting legacy that really shaped the educational DNA of the entire region.
You see, this was never just about textbooks or class schedules. It was a huge struggle over the very soul of education in India, a battle between tradition and modernity, between colonial control and the freedom of natural creativity. And this brings us right to our final takeaway, a question that is just as relevant now as it was then. What is the true purpose of education? Is it to create efficient subjects for a system, or is it to cultivate creative, independent minds? And maybe, the biggest question of all, who gets to decide?